Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into what is, without a doubt, the #1 iron category in all of golf, player's distance. We're going to break down an absolutely epic showdown to find the very best iron for 2025. So here's the setup. The original reviewers grabbed 9 of the hottest, biggest names on the market, put them through the ringer, and had to somehow narrow that list down to a top 5, and then from there, find a single, undisputed winner. Let's get into how they did it. Okay, so before we jump into the contenders, let's just quickly set the stage. What exactly are we talking about when we say player's distance? This category, it really dominates the golf world for a very good reason. Think of it like this. This is the sweet spot for probably 80% of us golfers. It's for the player who wants that sleek, thin, confident look you see in a pro's bag, but, let's be honest, needs the forgiveness and the extra yardage that comes from stronger lofts and cavity back performance. It really is the best of both worlds. All right, so to find the best of the best, the reviewers put together an absolute murderer's row of clubs for this test. I mean, look at this list. TaylorMade, Callaway, Cobra, 2 from Mizuno, Srixon, PXG, and Titleist. These are all heavyweights. 9 clubs enter the arena, but 4 of them had to get caught before we could even get to the final ranking. And those first cuts were pretty brutal. So let's take a look at who got the boot early on, and more importantly, get into the reasons why they just didn't make the cut. First on the chopping block, the PXG Gen7. Now, this club has some really interesting technology, but a pretty big problem popped up right away in testing. And this quote from the testers just says it all. The club was described as being too hot. You'd get these rocket balls that just flew unpredictably far. But the real deal breaker? You couldn't feel your mishits. As a player, you need that feedback to know if you caught it on the toe or the heel. And with these, you just didn't get it. So for that lack of feel and that wild unpredictability, the PXG Gen7 was the first one out of the competition. Next up to get eliminated was a really big one, the super hyped Callaway Apex AI20. Wow. I mean, that is about as strong a reaction as you can get. The tester said, "I hate it." For all the marketing, all the talk about AI, it just came down to feel, and they felt it just wasn't even in the same league as some of the other clubs in the test. And just like that, based on a pure gut reaction to the feel, the Callaway Apex was gone. So that's 2 down, 2 more to cut before we can even get to our top 5. Now with 7 clubs left in the mix, things got a lot harder. This is where the real argument started, and it led to the biggest debate of the whole day. And it all came down to this, the Titleist T200 versus the Mizuno Pro 245. On one side, you have the T200, which the testers praised for its incredible feel, its stability, its forgiveness. But on the other hand, my goodness, the Mizuno Pro 245, it was called maybe the best-looking iron of the bunch. It looks almost exactly like a blade. The problem? That hollow body could sometimes produce a nasty slinger hook on a miss. In the end, performance won out over looks. The reliable feel and the forgiveness of the T20 just couldn't be denied. So, in a super close call, the beautiful Mizuno Pro 245 was cut, leaving us with our final 5. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for. The field has been narrowed down. Let's get into the official top 5 players' distance irons for 2025, counting them down from number 5. Kicking off our countdown, coming in at the number 5 spot, it's the Titleist T200. And look, this is a phenomenal golf club. It's got that classic clean Titleist look. It feels great. It's a rock-solid performer. It absolutely deserves to be in the top 5. But when you get to this level of competition, it just got edged out by some of the very specific, unique strengths of the 4 clubs ranked ahead of it. Great iron, just not quite top of the class. All right, at number 4, we have a club that is a straight-up technological marvel, the Cobra 3D printed iron. Seriously, this thing is a showstopper. Cobra uses this 3D printed internal structure that gives it this unbelievable feel and a ton of forgiveness, all packed into this really slick, compact shape that better players love. The testers called it a genuinely superior product, so why is it only number 4? Well, one reason, the price tag is sky high. That's really the only thing holding it back. Nabbing the bronze medal position at number 3, we've got one of the best-selling, most popular irons on the entire planet, the TaylorMade P790. Now, this is interesting. The P790 was almost knocked down the list for being too good. It looks amazing, and when you pure it, the feel is just phenomenal. But that foam-filled head, the thing that creates that great feel, can also cause these occasional flyers or jumpers that just go way too far. That lack of pinpoint distance control on your best shots is what kept it out of the top 2. Our runner-up, taking home the silver medal, is the Mizuno JPX 923 Forged. I mean, this is where Mizuno's craftsmanship just shines. The reviewers said this club has arguably the best tech in the entire test. You've got this incredibly stable, fully forged head that just feels so solid. But here's the genius part. It's like a built-in combo set. The long irons have a hotter, faster face to give you more distance, and the short irons use a softer steel for more feel and control. It's brilliant. And that brings us to number 1, the club that the tester said isn't just the best, it's in a completely different class all by itself. The 2025 champion, the number 1 player's distance iron, is the Srixon ZXi5. This right here, this is the quote of the day. It's the strongest statement they made. They truly believe that if you took all the brand names off, hid the logos, and just had people hit them, the Srixon wouldn't just win a blind test, it would win by a landslide. They actually called it the real unicorn of the category. And you can see why. It was by far the softest feeling club they tested. It was the most stable. It gives you the look and feel of a serious player's club, but with all the forgiveness that this whole category is built on. It is the complete package and the clear, undisputed winner. So after all that testing, that intense head-to-head battle, the Srixon ZXi5 came out on top. And it wasn't even close. But as any golfer knows, the only opinion that really matters is your own. The real question this whole thing leaves us with is, what do these results mean for your game? And what's going to work best for you?